All right. I should do something for this week also. We decided we're doing Nakudim Vavrudim because it's an important Torah. I don't know why we never did it. But I'll say one quick thing, type of thing that can get us sidetracked. We can spend the whole time on it. But Dinah gets taken by Shechem. And they go out and they wipe out the whole city. And Yaakov gets upset at Shimon Levi. And what do they say to Yaakov? They say, "Hakazoyne yiyes achisenu." Should our sister be like a Zaina? So what's the kasha? The whole sugya has a lot of kashas, but I want to tell in one word. What's the word yiyah? They're saying that like we should just let them get away with it. Like we should treat her like she is. Yiyah means she will be. Right, years in the years. Like if they go out and wipe out the whole Shem for doing this to Dinah, and Yaakov is upset. Why do you do this? So you say, well, you treat her like she's cheap. Not that she will be cheap. What's the word? So I think it's a very, very important insight that if something bad happens to somebody, and then you go and you get your pound of flesh, and you take your Dama hine nidrosh, they darshan her blood, they demand, then the person can get over it. And but if someone does something to you and nobody pays the thing, so then you're being told that your blood is worthless, and then you become cheap. If you don't take revenge and wipe out Shechem, then she will be a Zaina. And but if the worst thing can happen to somebody, but if you go ahead and you make the person pay, so the person knows that whatever happened, but I'm not cheap. They took the come on me. What?
It came at a price.
Yeah, they took the come on, and I think that it's such a real thing that because of the Torah is saying, like in anything, if a kid, you ever see like. I don't know if you know. I thought my own kids, like if somebody starts up with them or Rebbe says something and they come to you and you go, I'm going to go to yeshiva, I'm going to tell them. So the kid's whole face lightens up just because like it's like giggling. They can almost giggle even though the minute ago they were crying. But when you go, I'm going to punch him, it was like, it's so exciting for them, the idea that you're standing up for me. Because the tsar is not the experience. The tsar is the invalidation of self that the experience shows, that I'm worthless, that I don't matter.
This is all pain?
Again, pain is pain, but pain goes away. As soon as the pain stops, it's done. The real pain is the emotional pain, the implications of who I am and what it says about me, that I'm insignificant and you can just take advantage of me. You could just, that I'm in yeshiva and I get thrown out and other kids didn't, that I'm a nobody and they're connected, like, all these things. Like a kid can go to school and get beaten up by the same bully as another kid, and one kid comes home like, I'll never go to school again, and the other kid is like, wow, we have this weird kid in our class, he just beats people up all the time. Like what shocks those two, it's not the physical pain. You won't get rid of the physical pain, but the physical pain is gone. It's the emotional implications. And if you don't, it's very important that people pay the price for the victim, not for the world. Like we think of all the reasons to punish somebody, when they talk about punishments, like what are the reasons? It's a whole different sugya to get into, but all the different reasons for punishments. As a disincentive, people shouldn't do it again. As retribution, evening the score, there's a lot of things. But I think this is the most important reason for the kama. The most important reason for punishing someone who does something wrong is it is the most important step in the recovery of the victim to know that their blood isn't cheap. And this they wiped out. Like really, what should happen is you want to get someone to totally get. Imagine if they would have gotten Shechem and like just beaten on him until Dinah says, okay, it's enough. If she's the judge of when you gave him enough, then she can go on the rest of her life. It's like, it was done. Whatever happened. Terrible thing. But like that mindset that we have to know that, like, And the worst thing is when a husband or a parent, because of their own insecurities of whoever's messing with the mishpacha or the kids, tells the kid like just because you're afraid to go fight with the man, so you tell the kid doesn't matter so much. He'll tell you when it doesn't matter so much. It's a very important issue. They're more concerned than what she's going to be. If Shem would have gotten away with it, then it would then that's the real rape. That happens the next day when the family says, and the people whose lives are destroyed by any individual story, it's not the story that destroyed them, it's the reaction of the people close to them. Everybody's waiting to hear the police, the judge, my father, my neighbors, my rebbe, someone's going to go to bat for me. And when that doesn't happen, that's the real alpha. Whatever. Practically speaking, you have to learn how to see the world through the restoration of the value of people who are baravot. Not so much solving the problem, the most important priority. And the truth is, if you look, Yaakov doesn't have an answer. When they say Hakasei, that's the last word in the discussion. The discussion is over. Like, what it is? It's like a very cool answer. I don't want to get into the whole shir, but like all of Yaakov's tainas are true. They didn't say you're wrong. They might have. You're right. It's a big problem. But Lamaisa, this is also true. And we chose this. We chose our sister over all the other political implications. All right. Last week's parsha. Yaakov wants us. He said, "Masa Yivne. When am I going to build my own matzav?" So he tells Lavan, "I have to go build my own house. How are you going to pay me?" Lavan says, "Nokfas scharchalai. Just tell me how you want to do this." Big talker. And Yaakov comes up with this idea. I want all the sheep that are akudim, nekudim, uvrudim. All the sheep that are spotted, speckled, and striped. I'm not sure how you translate them, depending on which translation. 3 different words for black and white. Akud, nakud, and barud. There's also toloi, but there's different expressions. The most common phraseology in the psukim is akudim, nekudim, uvrudim. That's what he wants. You could have all the ones that are solid. Lavan could have. And then what Yaakov does is and then Lavan does this trick. He takes all of the sheep that are akudim, nekudim, uvrudim, all the sheep that have any patterns on them, anything that has kol asher Lavan boy, anything that has any white on it, and he gives it to his kids, take it 3 days journey away. Basically, he understood biology and genetics already then, that if you take away all the sheep that have this gene for spotted, speckled, or striped, then there's not going to be able to be any more kids that are spotted, speckled. He thought he pulled a good move. Meanwhile, Yaakov had a trick up his sleeve. He took a stick and he peels off the bark to reveal the inside of the stick. He made like a peppermint stick. Imagine a spiral, black and white. And he puts those stick where the sheep are mating, and all the sheep who look at the stick, all their kids become spotted, speckled, and striped. And he ends up getting all the sheep of Lavan. That's the story. So it's like the most random story in the world. Let's make sense out of this story. So I'm sure in Kabbalah it's a big sugya. The olam Yitzchak, there are 3 different olam Yitzchak, kudim, the kudim, uvrudim, but I want to deal with it like very, very real, like Pashup Shah. When Yaakov says I'm going to build my what am I going to build my home, my matzav? So if you're making a yeshiva or kehillah, a family, you're building yours. So first of all, the shepherd's an obvious image, right? The shepherd we're shepherds. That's our job. We're taking care of flocks. That's how you have to see. The Jewish way to see your role in the world is that you're the shepherd, and you're taking care of everybody, right? I don't know if I've said it here. Like what I use for myself is not a shepherd. I like a more modern. I use it for a lot of people who are like in the matzah, where they're reacting like in the wrong way, or they're taking things out of context. Is the muscle I use. This is how I actually use, like when things go wrong, or like I'm dealing with difficult people. My view of the world is that we're in camp, and I'm the lifeguard, and this is the pool. I'm the lifeguard in the camp pool, and all the kids are in the pool, and these kids are going to have hard lives. Most people's lives aren't easy. A lot of kids will be in the Gimel Shir, other kids are going to fail, other kids' parents are going to go through things. Summers in camp are what people live their whole life over. Those happy memories, if you have them, will get you through life. It's very important for every staff member in a camp to know that what you're doing is you're giving the kids the tools to have good memories, and good memories will get you through a lot of it creates a certain kind of optimism that allows you for the rest of your life. People don't know how important camp counselors are. I used to give people advice from a frum perspective when people were not from and they were thinking of sending their kids to like a Jewish school, or I would tell everybody, it's more important to send your kids to a frum camp and keep your kids in public school. The first investment should be a frum camp, because kids hate school. School ruins all your days and it ruins your things, and frum schools are twice as much as their public school. Leave them public school. But camp is built for simcha. Let them always think of Yiddishkeit as the best things. It's the smartest investment. Now, listen, halavai, you get to the point where the kid can go all day long. But the first thing you should do is put the kids in Jewish camps. Camp is huge. So that's my image. You go through life, you have to picture yourself as a lifeguard, and the kids are fighting in the pool. You know? And you have to make sure the kids have a good time. When kids are splashing someone else, they're ruining his summer. The kid is feeling bullied. You have to put it to rest. But you can't blow the whistle at everybody out of the pool. You can't be that mean guy. Your job is the lifeguard in the pool of the world, and your job is to make sure everyone who comes within your Dalar Amas has beautiful memories of everything that you can control. You can't control everything, but you can control that people leave your orbit. When they think back at any moment of their life that you were in, they should be their warmest, happiest, proudest moments. That's your job in the world. You don't control more than your pull. That's my personal device for any type of situation. I visualize I'm by the pool, and this kid just did this. Like, what am I gonna do? So the bully kid is also gonna have a long life with camp as his memory, you know? And so you have to figure out how to tell the bully kid, it's like, you're still geschmack, you know? You don't realize that you're twice the size of everybody else. Like, you're a giver, like you're making like a tidal wave. People can't deal with tidal waves, you know? I used to go to the ocean, I loved waves, it's fun. And you're a strong guy, you probably would also, but the little kids can't deal with waves. Like, you can't imagine everybody's as strong as you, you know? You have to figure out how to build everybody up and leave the other guy intact. Whatever it is, it's worth thinking about it and being cognizant. Most people waste most of the moments in their lives that could have been the largest impact in the world, just oblivious, because most people are playing defense. And we don't have the luxury of thinking about offense. But you weren't put here to play defense. So the first thing is, I'm not going to tell everyone to get out of defense. People are in defense, but at least you should know that your purpose is to play offense. And the world is your pool, whatever your image is, and you're here to make everybody. That's the work. So Yaakov is Yaakov is the shepherd. I'm the shepherd, and these are my sheep. So if you're starting a kehillah or a shul or yeshiva, what is the number one thing you want from the people you're starting with? You're moving to brick, and you're opening a shul on the water in brick. Okay, everybody could have like jet skis in their backyard on the water. Okay, so but you bought the whole cul-de-sac. Like you get to choose who moves in there. Who do you want on your cul-de-sac? Like who should you want? Not who you want. People want the people with the most geschmack. But that's not necessarily the right answer. I think if I was making yeshiva or a shul, what I want authentic people. I want real people. Real is the smartest, the richest, the most geschmack. I want real people. People they're not faking, they're not posturing. This is the simplest thing. Authenticity is the hallmark of living, and that's what Yaakov wants. The metaphor for authentic is black and white. There's no one in the world who's kol kule white. If you see someone who's pure white, he's using bleach. It's bleach. There's nobody who's white. Nobody is white. Everybody ein sadik ba'oretz asher yasa toiv, right? Everybody. What makes me and you unique is unique splatter patterns. That's all. Some people have stripes, some have blotches, some have spots, speckles. What does that mean? Stripes are consistent good and bad midos. Like he doesn't miss a tefillah, but he's like the most selfish guy in the world. He doesn't give a penny to anybody. There's a consistent stripes. And then there are guys who are consistent stripes, but they're good guys. They have a few blotches. Things don't go wrong. He has a temper. That's a blotch. And then there are people who don't have stripes, who don't have blotches. Nothing major, but there's nothing that they do that's perfect. They're full of little speckles. Everything has little dots in it. Like nothing's the way it should be. So you have to know, are you spotted, speckled, or striped? But the point is, there's nobody who's white and nobody who's all black. There are people who fake both ways. Many people fake that they're all white, and then there are probably just as many people fake that they're black. That guy, like, Rebbe, give up on me. I'm too far gone. You don't know what I did. That Muslim is like the freedom of being an Eisvar. So Yaakov wants all the sheep that are spotted, speckled, and striped. All the white sheep, Lavan can have them. That's his name. His name is Lavan, and that's why he's a Ramai. Ramai and white are synonyms, like a double expression, Lavan and Ramai. Everything white in the world is Ramayas, is posturing, it's just bleach. Okay, that's the Hakam. So that's what Yaakov wants. He's building a nation. His Shepselach are all going to be authentic. He doesn't care what the pattern is, as long as they're moida to their truth. Then you can work. That's a person you can deal with. So this is the reason why I want to talk about this. What Yaakov is trying to figure out is that you don't just have to select this. You can make sheep become spotted, speckled, and striped, which doesn't mean that you're going to make them good or bad. They already are good and bad. You can get sheep to stop faking. You can get people to be moida either to their black or to their white, whichever one they're hiding. That's Yaakov's dilemma. How do I get the sheep to become akud mekudron, which means to be moida to stop bleaching, to be moida. So he takes the stick and he peels off the bark, and then all the sheep will look at the stick, become spotted, speckled, and striped. So how do you get people? That's a very, very most important discussion. Is how do you get people? What is the environment that allows for authenticity? What does Yaakov have to do? How do you're a Rebbe, you're a Rav, you're a parent, how do you get the people entrusted to you to become real?
You show authenticity.
You what?
You show.
You be a role model. Okay, you know what? It's a good answer, but it's not enough of an answer and it's also not even be necessary. Like, everybody knows the value of authenticity. I don't need someone to model it for me. It could be helpful, but there's a reason why I'm scared of it. And the fact that you did it doesn't solve my reason why I'm lying. You can do it all along, and there could be a million honest people. They don't have my secret. They didn't do what I did, whatever it is. Yeah, you have to, again, you're right in the sense is that somebody has a very bad thing that they did and they held to be moida and worked their way through it, and you're right. You can show the person you'll survive. I survived. Look, I leveraged. I became like I didn't hide it, and I became known as like the Baal Tshuva guy. It's a legend. Like, what he used to do is people can play it. That could be a role model. If he could be a moida, I could. But I'm talking about more essentially. How do you get someone to develop the midah of? So, what you need to really ask is why won't people be moida? What's the reason? What's the reason? I guess there's two reasons. There's a public reason why you won't do it in public, but why won't people even do it in private?
It's much more work.
It's a laziness.
Do they know?
It's not a laziness. It's like it's an easier way to go about things in life.
Yeah, that's a laziness. Easy is just less
scary.
It's not true. It's like it sounds true, but it's they say a coward dies 1,000 deaths. You go to war, you can only get killed once. The person who's denying something, it's a 24-hour, 24/7 job to be in denial. Real people, it's the most chilled life in the world. You're just real. It's one of these, like, what they call the shorter, longer road, The guy is doing it because he's lazy. It turns out that this is, like, you have to keep track of all your stories and all your, like, just. I gotta tell people sometimes when a guy is, I say, just put it on the table. Just put it on the table. Get it over with.
Honest.
What?
Honest.
Just get it, but diverted, but not because of honesty. Just get it over with. Your life.
Take
too
the
much
weight off
stress.
yourself.
It's too much stress to get the weight off yourself. It's not easy. There's nothing harder than there's nothing harder than laziness. Laziness is the hardest job in the world. Chilling is the hardest thing in the world, because chilling only works when there's a lot of noise and a lot of chevra. When everybody else is gone, the weight of chilling that and all the time that you just wasted sits on you like a ton, like a mountain. Anyways, so what I think the answer is like what's the most famous philosophy question in history is a zebra white with black stripes or black with white stripes? Which one's a zebra? Which one is it? What does that mean? So I think like this, is that the reason why it's so hard to be moida that I'm black and white is because maybe the black is the real me and the white is I'm just learning for a shidduch. I'm just giving tzedakah for kavod. Maybe I'm really black. If you could convince me that I'm really white and the white is the MS and the black are my stripes, the black is just some grease from the mechanic shop, then I have no problem being moida. But I'm not. Nobody wants to be moida that they're black and white because because the thought in their head that the black is the MS, that a zebra is black with white stripes. If you could show me that zebras are white with black stripes, then I have no problem being moida. So therefore, the job of a rav, a rebbe, a spouse, anybody, a parent, is to convince everyone who comes into your orbit that they're white with black stripes, that their pneumius, their MS is whiteness. And if you could do that and show someone they're really white, then they have no problem being moida to all their chesroinas. Because it's just grease. It's just a stain. It's not me. But until you do that, no one will be moida. They'll fight you to the death because nobody wants to be garnished. So what Yaakov does this most genius thing. It's a mushal, but he takes a stick and he peels off the bark and he makes a spiral in the stick. And now the stick is also black and white. And he puts it where the sheep are mating. And all the sheep who look at it become spotted, speckled, and striped. You got what he did? What's the difference between this stick and the sheep? What's the difference? It's 3D. The stick is 3D. He peeled off the bark, and that's how the pasuk says it, right? He vayifatzel behem ptzolos levonos. He peeled off to reveal the white stripe, the white underneath. All the sheep looked at the stick and they saw that it's white and black, but they thought that the white is the inside and the black was peeled off and inside's white. As soon as they saw that the pneumius is white, every sheep became spotted, speckled, and striped. And that's our avodah. Our avodah is to be able to peel off the bark to show people that the pneumius is white, and then everyone will be great. That's what he does. The Zohar says that this. Someone asked me. I didn't see it inside. I don't know. I'm surprised. 2 people asked me this in different times I gave this year. So people know Zohar, so it's pretty cool. But the Zohar says if you have like one of these like AI things, you could find it for me. What?
From Nachman bring it down at the beginning.
Who brings down?
Nachman.
He brings down the Zohar? Where?
For the first couple brothers.
I mean, that's who people know from? People know from wow. Okay, cool. Rachel says that what Yaakov did over here in the story is that's what tefillin are about. So someone asked me as a kasha, tefillin are all black, like what are you saying? But I don't know if the Zohar says it straight out, but it must be that what it's referring to is the shalyad, the ritzuos. What the ritzuos are, when you look at your arm in the morning and you have ritzuos like this, what do you see? We're recreating Yaakov's stick with the black on top of the white. So when you put on tefillin in the morning, every time you look at your arm, you have to see black and white and understand the white is the pneumius, and then you live with fire. So it's an avodah every morning as you're putting on the ritzuos, and then you have to put it on. You can't be touching, you have to think about it. So you're looking black, white, and the white is on. And then you there's an authenticity and a freedom that comes with that hakara that the inside is white. So that's the first step. So I want to take this even crazy further. I don't know. I'm not so happy with the Vart. In the end, in the beginning, there's a lot of truth to it, but you'll hear it. It doesn't ring 100% true. I'll show you why it doesn't ring true. But in the end, you'll see maybe it is true because there's something that only makes sense if this is true. I'll tell you whatever. I'm giving a whole akdama because I want you guys to work it out with me. It's like I don't have it figured out yet. The whole avoida, the whole sugya of tzaras. What's the sugya of tzaras? You say lashon hara, and you get this thing. So everybody thinks that tzaras is like growth. You have like this cancerous growth. It's like something that's just like. But that's not what tzaras is. If you look in the pasuk, it says it has to be omoik k'mei b'sarei. Right? If it's not omoik k'mei b'sarei, like an emek, lower than his skin, and also the lashon is the kohen comes and he sees that ushfala inena. It's not shuffle. Shuffle and omoik are two different words for lower. So what happened? So tzaras has to be. It's not the skin growth on the skin. It's the skin being eaten away and like abscess, like holes in the skin. And tzaras has to be what color? White. So this is why I'm not sitting so well. It would be geshmak. So what tzaras is, according to this, is that why you're going around ripping everybody apart. Why do you have to knock people down? Is because you don't feel good. So Hashem opens up your skin to show you the whiteness inside. He's peeling back your skin.
Tzaras is not really punishment.
What?
So
Yeah, but it doesn't really. It's so gross, tzaras. It's hard to think of it as that white is good. It's like, but I'll tell you why I like the Vart. Because one of the weirdest things about tzaras is what do you call it? One of the weirdest things about tzaras is tzaras al habotim. When houses have tzaras, what's the famous medrash Rashi brings down? Why is there tzaras on the houses? So that you'll destroy the walls and you'll find the gold that the Canaanim hid in the walls. You know, from this. So it's such a random. That makes no sense. Like that's why you have tzaras on a house, so you can tear down the walls. So I should say lashon hara and ignore all the lessons of tzaras till it gets on my house, and then I'll tell you that the reward is I'll find gold. Like it doesn't make any sense, right? But according to this word, it makes perfect sense. What are we saying? The tzaras is so you'll tear down the walls, and when you tear down the walls, what do you find? You find the gold that's inside. So that's what we're saying, that you want to peel off the outside. So then if that's what tzaras is on the houses, you have to assume that tzaras on the guf is the same thing. It's tearing open the walls so to see the gold inside. On the guf, it's white. We call it white, not gold. You're giving me a blank look.
Why is it a problem? It's beautiful. It's exactly your idea. That
I
each
know,
person,
but
we need to teach them that.
No,
They say it's
on-
framing
on-
tzaras in a
on-
positive
believe
way.
that.
Right, framing
Transition.
tzaras, like, can you imagine the way we, like, looking at your arm and seeing tzaras going, oh, it's white inside. That's not what
Because
tzaras.
that's why you still lashon hara on the other guy, because he had to.
Because he had to bring it up because he didn't know
Why
what
do
was
you have to bring
good.
him
I
down?
get
Because
it.
he didn't have confidence.
No,
Why
so
do you have
it-
confidence? Because he didn't realize that inside was white.
Masking. So that's why it's nice. That's why I like it. But still, it doesn't overcome the idea that tzaras is this oozing, gross, mears thing that white
What we're
tzaras.
supposed to be discussing would definitely not be white.
I mean,
You know, anyone,
to
forget
say
about
this
what
part,
you
you
said.
have to redo the whole tzaras.
Now,
Tzaras is never
forget about
bad.
anything you ever said tonight. There's no way to go say, well, tzaras is supposed to be the most ugly thing if it's white. It's just not. No.
So you asked me some question. Why is in what world is white bad? Like why is white plus white is called tzaras and any other color is good? White is the best color. That's nice. And then you're saying you have to say this. You're saying you're doubling down on this one.
Yeah.
Amazing. So I just want to take it one last step. I want to show you because this is a grown-up share, so we can do grown-up stuff. Well, no, leave it on.
It's gonna get posted. I think I know where it's going, but
What?
it's gonna get posted.
What, you heard this part from me?
No, but when that intro comes up, I know.
Could be many things.
We'll, I'll tell the Kash, I'll tell the artist what the next step is, and then we'll pause it and make it its own clip.
Okay.
No, we definitely can't put it up as own clip.
No, it can go up privately. It's alright.
We'll see.
We'll figure it out. Don't worry.
And leave everyone's watching hanging?
What?
Yeah, what about the poor people?
It's not the only time they've been hanging.
No,
Anyone who really wants to know can send me a message. If you don't know who I am,
I want to tell you. I want to
I'm
tell you.
not
The next step in this vart is to go like this. The next step in the vart is like everything. When you keep on expanding a vart, so you open a new door in the new room. There's new stuff, you know. So this is very beautiful. That the whole So tsaras is the same thing as akudin kudrun. It's peeling off to show the white inside, and that changes. That's what tsaras is. Hashem is opening up your guf to show you that you're white inside. You don't need to knock anybody. You're already good, and that's the bottom are. But in the bottom, it says a weird lashon. It says that you destroy the walls of your houses, so you find the gold that the Canaanim hid inside. So what's that extra step that the Canaanim hid inside? It should have said the gold that's hidden inside. That's you find your goodness. We found an extra step here, a whole new door of a new Havana. That the Torah is sort of saying that thing that makes you, that buries your goodness, the thing that covers up goodness, is called Canaanim. Canaanim are the thing that makes you think you're black. You're really white. You're really white, but it's the Canaani that buries it inside that you have to peel off to show the white is. The Canaanim buries the white with bark. They're the ones putting the grease covering the. Okay, right?
Black.
What?
Are you black?
Oh, so Canaan is black, right? Kasam Cham. That's all. That gets tricky. That's not the controversial thing I wanted to get into. It's a different controversial thing. I wanted to get into the pasuk says that Maisa Mitzrayim by the Arayas. There's two extra things by Arayas that describes all Arayas, but there are two things doesn't define, called Maisa Eretz Canaan and Maisa Mitzrayim. Don't do Maisa Mitzrayim. Maisa thing. You know what Maisa Mitzrayim is? Chazal say Maisa Mitzrayim is lesbianism. Like homosexuality on men is mishkav zachar. It's a toeva that women are not included in that era. That's only men. On the woman, it's not one of their rayas. It's nichlal in Maisa Mitzrayim. So I wanted to explain what Maisa Mitzrayim is and Maisa Eretz Canaan are opposites. There's two opposite corruptions. Mitzrayim. So you have to understand the nature of these averas. So is that too talking about that? It's
I haven't
fine.
heard anything.
No, I didn't say it yet. I want to analyze. What? We can do a share. Okay, so
Oh, you want to know if you should keep them the same share?
yeah. Okay, you can stop it and you'll decide if you want to post it or not.
You'll have to message me for this
What?
part B.
Lesbianism.
Wait, you should say now that you can message you for part B.
All right.
Well, you can put part fee behind the paywall.